The great new build property rip-off continues and shows no sign of easing off. The new build market is on its knees, with many of the largest developers cutting their building by as much as 30 to 40%, if not more. But this has led them to resort to even more deceitful tactics to mislead you into overpaying. For over a year now, I have been saying again and again, if you are a first-time buyer with a deposit of less than 15% looking at buying a new property, do not buy now, no matter what the media tells you, no matter what you read in the papers, no matter what you hear from mainstream media, because they have been lying to you. Property has fallen significantly. However, even now, the true extent of the fall is still being kept from unsuspecting buyers. What the large developers have resorting to doing now is to actually offer massive incentives to buyers. That's great, you may think, but actually I would argue that not only is it wrong, but there could be a case for fraud, definitely misrepresentation in how it is done. So there are developers out there offering incentives of 30, 40, 50,000 or more, but what that means is they maintain the same selling price on the property. So rather than lower the value of the property, they actually give you that discount in incentives. Could be paying your stamp duty, furniture, a car, a holiday, who knows. But the point is, when that property is registered on the Land Registry, and when these people who are working from home at the Land Registry finally drag themselves away from the kettle and do their job, and those figures are published, unsuspecting buyers will go and look what property was sold, and all they will be aware of is the selling price, because there is no means or burden of responsibility for the incentives that were included in that sale to be registered on the Land Registry. So if a property of £500,000 was sold with £60,000 worth of incentives, it will still be registered at 500, but in reality that selling price was £440,000. And that poor person who bought that house in a falling market that suddenly needs to sell won't get 500, won't get 450 or 440, they'll be lucky to get 400. So where does that leave them? I think that this is yet another example of the deceit within the entire industry that ends up costing you, the individual, unsuspecting people. And I have seen this mentioned about incentives here or there in the papers, that the developers are now offering incentives, but it's almost been presented by the media as a bonus. Lucky you that they're going to give you a roll of cheap carpet and a garden shed. No, it would be much better if the property were sold at the correct price and you can go and buy your own shed when you're good and ready, without ending up paying thousands of pounds more for a property and then paying the extra stamp duty on the extra price that you shouldn't be paying in the first place. So if you are looking at a new property, if those developers offer you any incentive whatsoever, anything other than a clear, distinct reduction in price, as far as I'm concerned, those developers are party to misrepresentation or even fraud. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Thank you very much. As always, if you have any questions about property, feel free to get in touch, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.